Okay, in this video, we're going to take a look at scales of measurement. There are 4 scales of measurement, and the first one we're going to take a look at is nominal. Nominal are categorical variables, so that means that there's not a numerical value assigned to it, so we can't perform mathematical operations on them, so we can't add, subtract, multiply, or divide using these. They are also unordered. So an example of this is if I have a class of people and I survey them, what is their favorite book, or what's their favorite eye color? One's not right over the other. They're all each their own thing, and so they're each their own category. So they're unordered in that there's not a first, second, or third place. They're just people's favorite book or their eye color. So there are different categories, but there is no order to those categories. The next scale of measurement is going to be ordinal. Now, ordinal are also categories, but they can be placed in an order. So that's the big difference between nominal and ordinal, is that ordinal has an order to it. An example is like the Olympics we just watched. There are gold, silver, and bronze medals. While we have that silver is above bronze and then gold is above silver and bronze. So there is an order to those, even though they're categories and not necessarily numbers. Another one is hot to cold scale. So there is an order to that, depending on who you ask. Is hot it's different than cold, and so there is a order in place. However, there's not necessarily a distinct measurement or a specific distance in between these categories. So if I have the Olympic medals, gold, silver, and bronze, there's not necessarily a specific order that differentiates that they have to go an extra mile to get silver or something like that. So there isn't a specific designated distance in between each of these categories. That will take us into our third measure or scale of measurement, which is interval. Now, intervals are ordered, they're numbered, and there's a specific amount between each category. So that's what makes it different than ordinal, that there's a specific distance and it's agreed upon. So an example is temperature. There are specific degrees, and that's why they increase or decrease. There is an order to those. 40 degrees is going to be higher than 35 degrees. GPA is another one. Another one is a Likert scale. And so if you've ever taken a survey where you have don't agree, no opinion, and agree, there's an agreed upon distance between each of those that the surveyor created. And we can change those into numbering them for statistical analysis later. So that is an interval scale of measurement, when we have an ordered number list with the specific amounts between each category. Now, the last scale of measurement we'll take a look at is ratio. Now, ratio is very, very similar to intervals in that they are both ordered, they have numbers, and there's a specific distance between each category. The big difference between intervals and ratio is that 0. In an interval, 0 might have meaning. So if I take a look at 0 degrees Celsius, that's freezing point. That actually has meaning. So even though it's 0, it's still doing something. There's still something tangible there. It's freezing. In ratio, if I have a 0, it means nothing's there. So temperature is an example of an interval measurement. Height or weight can be an example of a ratio measurement, because if I have 0 height or 0 weight, there's nothing there. So if I could replace 0 with none or nothing, then it's a ratio measurement as opposed to an interval measurement. Another example of a ratio is the college credits earned. I can have 3 credits, 620. Each credit increasing is an agreed upon amount, a specific amount between each of those, and it's ordered. But if I also have 0, that means I have none. There are no credits if I have 0. So that's why it's a ratio as opposed to an interval. So nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio are 4 scales of measurement. And that's what we'll cover in this video. Thanks.